I just did a little book unhaul. I just got rid of 10 books, donated them over to a used bookstore in my town. So I got rid of about 8 horror books and 2 thrillers. First, I got rid of Christian Ritter's Retreat. This was a good thriller. I liked it a lot and stuff like that. I thought the protagonist was really captivating and I liked the story, albeit it was just a little generic at some parts and stuff like that. But it was still pretty good, but not enough for me to want to keep. Meddling Kids by Edgar Cantero. I really wanted to like this, but it just got the stakes got too high and it just became like just too much of like a big blockbuster and it's not at all what I wanted out of it. So it was okay, but it was a little disappointing and not scratching the itch of the Scooby Doo esque nature of it that I wanted. Final Girls by Riley Sager. This is a really popular author. I read this book and I loved it up until the end. The end killed it for me so hard. I never want to read another book by this author ever again. That reveal was really abysmal. Lovecraft Country by Matt Ruff and The Destroyer of Worlds by Matt Ruff. This duology, I really liked the first one. I liked Lovecraft Country. Excellent HBO limited series that was adapted to it. That's very different, but I think actually ended up working out better than the book. But the book's still very good. The sequel is so unnecessary and just not additive whatsoever. And I don't know, I just didn't have enough of attachment to the first book anyways. So I was like, it's good, but I'm not crazy about it. And I definitely don't want the sequel. So might as well just get rid of both of them instead of keeping one over the other. The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. Look, people love this author. People love this book. I totally get it. But this was not for me. I understand the vision and what she was trying to do, and I really respect this book, but I just I just could not do it. I did not like it. Manhunt by Gretchen Falker Martin. I enjoyed it, but it had some severe pacing issues, and there were some abysmal choices in the storytelling of that became really generic and just kind of like, oh, I see that this is gonna happen. Yep, and it did happen, and it kind of killed the book for me with some choices that just felt out of character for some of the characters, and just felt like, oh yeah, I've seen this a billion times. And also, this author, there's a lot of extremely problematic stuff with her, and I was like, ugh, you're not a good human being, so no. The Final Girl Support Group by Grady Hendrix. Like Riley Sager, I do not want to read another book by this author. But unlike Final Girls, which I actually liked almost all of Final Girls, like until like 90% of it, this I respect it. I respect the vision. I see what Grady Hendrix was aiming for, but man, it was a swing and a miss. I just really don't think the idea what he was trying to go for clicked, and I thought the I like an unlikable protagonist, but I just found the hysterics, everything, it just felt just over dramatic. It was not a good time. 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. Another book I loved like 90% of it, but man, the ending really crumbled. I was pitched that this author does like the best twists, and man, that twist is not good. It creates so many holes in the story. I started to have trouble piecing it all together once the reveal happened, and I was like, wait a minute, but this causes some issues throughout the entire story that you did these reveals, and these are your answers to the whole story. So ultimately, it unfortunately uh, kind of fell off. Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. I know people love this book, and this is such an unpopular opinion, but man, I did not like this book. It is a book I respect because I see what she's trying to do, but there's so many directions that it starts going towards that it just stops going toward and goes in a different direction, and it just feels like a bunch of half-baked ideas all tossed together. And also, the way the story is told, it doesn't provide you much of a connection to any of the characters. Like there's just this weird distance and this weird like framing of like who the characters are and everything like that. Like not really using names or anything like that. I just am like I I can't even feel anything for these characters based on the way they're being identified essentially. This was an unfortunate miss and probably the biggest disappointment of all these books, and at least it had the best title, 'cause Night Bitch is truly, like, one of the best book titles.